Hi, it's Emily and this is TBR Jar chooses my April reads. So if you've been around here for a while, you'll know that I normally have my normal TBR game. That's not disappearing, don't worry. But I thought 4 times a year, January, April, July and October, I'll do a TBR Jar picks my reads just because I keep seeing them and they seem really fun. I also thought that this would be kind of more, not interactive, but you kind of see me pick them and see my process of picking the books, if that makes sense, because normally when I do my TBR game I do my rolls and I hold up the book and talk about it, whereas I thought if I pick this you can then see my live thought process as to what book I pick, if that makes sense. So this jar is from Hobbycraft. I have it because I had a dinner party recently, if you've seen my vlogs then you'll know, and this was, I kind of had jars and fancy bottles to make it kind of look old-fashioned and like potions and like these had like sweets in basically. I had like old-fashioned sweet treat table. I wasn't using this jar for anything, so I thought why not, and I got I think over 30 prompts in here. The colours don't mean anything, I just used colourful paper. The only colour that means something is grey because they have genres on, whereas everything else is just random. I think I'm going to stick with 5 books again, just so I know that I can have some mood read space aside from these throughout April. I just thought this would be really fun to do every now and then. There are a couple books that I would like to get to this month. A few book club, well, a book club pick. I want to finish off a series. I do have them written down here, so I'm going to hopefully plug them into these prompts, but we'll see. These prompts literally cover so much, like from matching the outfit, matching the last song I listened to, genres, there's literally so many. So I think without further ado, let's jump on in to the first prompt. Actually, should we do 6? Should we do 6 for the inaugural month? We'll find out. We'll see how things go. So there we have it, all the prompts. Let's give another shake. Okay, let's just pick one at random, completely at random. This one. Nice little purpley one. Okay. Flowers on the cover. We can work with that. I'm just having a look to see if any of my books on my list have flowers on. This is getting hard to just pick like options. Okay, this could be an option. Definitely flowers on the cover. Felix Ever After. That's an option. I thought this was going to be a really easy prompt to fulfill, but oh, I guess Concrete Rose, has that got, it's got a flower on. That's I guess another option. Big Bone, that's another option. This rainbow is serving well today. That's another option. All YA at the minute. I have a look at my 12 from 12 books because I'm a month behind, so if I could get one of those on, that would also be good. Okay, so I have found a few more options, but I think I'm going to stick with one of those first 3 that I held up, which was Big Boned by Jo Watson. Jo Watson's my favourite romance author, but this is her first YA book. Concrete Rose and Felix Ever After. I think I'm kind of toying between these 2 because they're both books that are kind of really hyped for me. Like I really want to read them both like soon. But I think I'm going to go with Felix Ever After because this has been my TBR since it came out and I should finally get to it. So I believe this follows Felix, who, it says on the back, is black, queer and transgender, and he wants his own like happily ever after. He wants his romance story but is struggling with that. And on the back it says, when an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned, Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. And then I believe there's a love triangle by the looks of things. So this could be fun. I think it's also very spring vibes, especially like with the sprayed edges with those flowers. So very happy with this pick and I look forward to reading it in April. So on to prompt number 2. Let's give it another shake and then we'll just pick another random one. Let's dig around for the bottom. This one, a green one. Not that the colours mean anything. Okay, non-fiction. We can make this work. I'll grab a few options and I'll talk about them. So I kind of have 4 options here, I think. They're kind of in like 2 categories, I guess. I do have more non-fiction to read, but these are the ones that I want to read sooner rather than later. So we have these 4. The first one is Beyond the Tape, The Life and Many Deaths of a State Pathologist by Dr. Marie Cassidy. My friend lent this to me a very long time ago, nearly 2 years ago now. and I've still had it on my shelves, so I definitely need to read it very soon. On a similar vein, we have The Killer Across the Table by Johnny Douglas and Mark Olshaker. These are the people that wrote Mindhunter. I read that and really enjoyed it, and this is kind of like their second book, I think. I think they have 3 out maybe. I don't know, but I really enjoyed Mindhunter, so I wanted to pick this one up. Then we have 2 kind of Agatha Christie based ones. The first one is Poirot and Me by David Suchet. This is his kind of like autobiography about playing the character Poirot. It's lovely and floppy, but I do want to read this very soon. And then finally we have Come Tell Me How You Live by Agatha Christie, and she wrote this as a memoir when she was out on digs out in the Middle East, and this is just her telling everyone how her life was like out on these archaeological digs while also being a writer. I need to pick from one of these. I know I should pick Beyond the Tape, and the font is huge, so I should get through it quickly, but I really just want to read Come Tell Me How You Live because it's got so many pictures throughout. It's actually really short, like the audiobook's on Everand and it's only 6 hours-ish long, so I think I'm gonna pick Come Tell Me How You Live because it's the one I am most excited about. So yeah, like I've said, this is her memoir, writing as Agatha Christie Mallowan, going on her husband's archaeological digs. She funded a lot of them from her book sale money, but yeah, this is kind of like her diary, memoir, autobiography, just about her time travelling with her husband on his digs. And yeah, like I said, she funded a lot of them, so she was actually very involved in the digs and liked to get hands on, so I'm excited to see what this entails. Okay, on to prompt 3. So far we have none of the books that I wanted to get on the TBR yet, but that's fine. We still have 3 more, potentially 4 more prompts if I go for 6. So on to prompt number 3, another shake. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I pick out different colours because that'll be just fun. Okay, it's a grey, which means it's a genre. Fingers crossed. Oh, okay, so it says horror or spooky vibes. Spooky vibes are kind of classed as like witchy stuff as well, like ghosts, but you know, spooky stuff that's not straight up horror, you know. Just up here is my main horror TBR. There you go, can you see by the ghost? The ghost should actually be in the corner really. So let's have a look at my options. Let's sort that out. Okay, so after looking at them, I do want to read them all. Salem's Lot, that's too big for right now. And the other ones I kind of wanted to read around October time when it's more like Halloweeny and spooky season. But I did pick up 3 options. The first one is The Girl in Red by Christina Henry. I've only read The Mermaid by Christina Henry and I did enjoy it. I did then try to pick this up and I think I got a chapter in and DNF'd it, like soft DNF'd it, but that also was maybe like 4 years ago, so that's an option. Another option is Fever Dream, which Chloe gave me, I believe, for Christmas. This is a tiny little book, and the font, like, it's going to be a really quick read, so I'm kind of leaning towards this at the minute. But I've heard lots of good things, or like, I just heard a lot of some mixed things, some good things, but I definitely want to read this soon. And the other one is The Company of Ghosts, which I picked up in a charity shop. I don't even know why, but it looks really intriguing. Like, it's got like letters inside. As I flick through I can see. I don't really know anything about it apart from it's like ghosts on a lighthouse. So yeah, but I think it is between these 2 because they're both quite short. I think I'm gonna go with Fever Dream actually. I think this is a horror, isn't it? I don't know anything about it. I may, after just reading the back, have just completely made up that it's a horror. I think it's like dark literary fiction or dark contemporary maybe, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna commit to it. I still don't really know what it's about. I believe it's about this woman who's dying in a hospital in Argentina and there's this boy next to him. They're not related. She kind of tells him stories that are kind of horrific, I think. A conversation that opens a chest of horrors. Together they tell a haunting story of broken souls, toxins and the power and desperation of family. A chilling tale of maternal anxiety and ecological menace. Fever Dream is a modern classic. Okay, well I am very excited to read this still, and it should definitely be a very quick read. It's only what, 150 pages, so I think let's do 6 prompts this month because so far we've got some very quick reads. I'm gonna jinx it now, the next ones are gonna be chunky. Okay, 3 more prompts to hopefully get a couple books on my TBR that I actually wanted to read this month. Oh, is that a sign? It jumped out. Is that a sign? I mean, I did shake it with the lid off, which is my fault, but we'll go with it. It's another lilac-y one. Okay, that works for one of the books I wanted to read. Okay, young adult. I'm not even going to show you options because I know what I'm going to pick for this one. Let me just grab it. Okay, so the book that I'm going to read for this prompt is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This is the 3rd and final book in the trilogy, the Divergent trilogy. Should have said which one it is. I've been reading the series 1 a month recently, and I really want to finish off the trilogy in April, so I'm glad I can actually get it onto my TBR. It is a chunkier one. Sorry, I got rudely cut off then. I can't remember what I was saying, but yeah, I'm looking forward to wrapping up the main trilogy. I do have 4, the kind of short story collection, I believe. I've had some interesting things about Allegiant from multiple sources. They say that Allegiant is awful. A few of my friends, Rebecca and Becca, they've both said they hated it, but they really hope I enjoy it, but they believe that Insurgent was really, really good, and then this was just not good at all. So I'm intrigued. I spoke to another friend at work, she reads, and she said that she thought it was okay, it's just weird. Like, it's a weird choice of ending. So I'm looking forward to finding out what I think of this. I'm still excited for it, because I have really, really enjoyed the first 2 books. That'll be my young adult pick. Yeah, I've just started watching the movies as well. I've just watched Divergent the other day with a friend. Funny enough, the friend that got me these for Christmas. Looking forward to wrapping up that trilogy and actually completing a series this year. Whoop whoop, because I'm not doing that with the rest of my books apparently. Okay, so we have 2 more prompts. We still haven't managed to get my book club pick on this TBR yet. If I don't, I'll just mention it at the end anyway, but it's not the end of the world. Prompt number 5. Let's go for this one. Okay, another grey one. We're being very repetitive with the colours today. So let's have a look. Okay, doesn't work for my TBR, but romance or contemporary, that's fine. Not quite, oh, I am sort of in the mood for it, I guess. Let's go pick out some options for romance contemporary. So out of the ones closest here, I kind of want to read a Giovanna Fletcher book this month. I have 3 on my TBR, but these are a couple options. That looks like it's about horses. Okay, I was just reading the backs of these to decide which to pick. I'm gonna go, well, this is one of my options. I was just reading the back. I did not realise this was a Billy and Me story. I was reading the back and I was like, this sounds like Billy and Me, like the characters. It's because it's a Billy and Me story. Another option, I really want to read Binding 13 soon, but it's a chunker. And I did jinx it, didn't I? I said the next ones are going to be chunky. So we got Allegiant that's chunky. This is another option, but it is, what, 800 pages? 801 pages. But I do want to read it. It's just very long. Like, even the audiobooks on Audible are split into 2 parts. So that's an option. We have so many more. I guess I should have a look at my 12 from 12. Okay, so after looking at my 12 from 12 books, a couple other options are The Dead Romantics, which is Rachel's pick, so that's an option. However, I can't find the audiobook on Everand anymore. I'm pretty sure it was on there, but not anymore. We have Chloe's pick, which is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett, which I think could be a fairly quick one. I did fly through the one that she recommended last time. What was it? Lucky Stars? No. Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I really enjoyed that, so I could really enjoy this one too. Then we have Alex's pick, which is It Only Happens in the Movies by Holly Bourne. I do need to get this off my TBR, it's been on there since it came out. And I have loads of Holly Bourne books, but I've only ever read one, so that's on there. And another one I just kind of threw in as an option is Bloodstream by Emily Carter, because I really want to read an F1 romance at the minute. And this was in the works, and it's so nice and floppy, but we'll see. So these are, guys, the options for my romance or contemporary. I think I'm going to take out Binding 13 because it's chunky. Although we'll see where the month goes. Maybe that can be a mood read. I've just read the back of You're the One That I Want, and this seems really good. I'm not sure if any of these are calling to me particularly. It's between these 3. I don't know. I think because I've got a couple YA on my shelves already, my TBR already, I'm not going to go for Alex Approximately. But so I think I'm going to pick You're the One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher, just because it's an adult romance. I haven't got one of those on my TBR already. From what I can gather from the back, Maddie is about to marry Rob, and Ben is the best man, and as she's looking at Rob, she's thinking she could be marrying Ben. They were all best friends growing up, and Maddie has a choice to make, but will she choose wisely? Her heart and the hearts of the two best men she knows depend on it. So I think it's between her choosing between her fiance and the best man. But it looks, as I flick through, it looks like it keeps flashing back to when she's 16 years old. Oh wait, no, hang on. Okay, I've just opened it up. It's got the lyrics to Love Is Easy by McFly in the front, which obviously she's married to Tom Fletcher, but I think it goes through their childhood because, I know, 26 years old, and then they all flash back to like 9 years old, to 15 years old, 16 years old. I think it leaves it up to that point, and then she makes a decision at the end. That's pretty cool. I think I'm going to go with You're the One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher. That's my romance contemporary pick. I have just realised that I had the perfect opportunity then to put one of my 12 from 12 friends books on my TBR, and I completely ignored it. But hey ho, I'll fit one in at some point this month. We've got one more prompt. I'm going to just put these back on my shelves, and then we'll go over the sixth and final prompt. Okay, so let's give the jar one final shake. Okay, let's hope we get a different colour. Let's go for this one. Nope, I dropped it. It's not meant to be, not meant to be. This one. Okay, we have a pink one. We have a pink one. At least it's a new colour. Recently hauled. So that works actually. That works actually for a couple books that I wanted to include on this TBR. Let me just grab them and we can talk about them. So we're going for a classics vibe for these next few books. I don't know if this counts as hauled, but I took it out from the library, and this is my book club pick for my in-person Waterstones book club, and that is The Master and Margarita. I got this out from the library. This is our April pick, and it is long. Like, the font is tiny and it's 400 pages long. It's translated from Russian, and my friend recommended it loads. He says that I need to read it, and so I said I'll read it for my book club if you also come along to the book club too, and he said he might. So I'm so intimidated by this book, I'm not gonna lie, but I do want to read it. So that's one option. The next one is 1984 by George Orwell. I have never read this, however I am so excited at the idea of the new audiobook that's coming out, the dramatised one, not just because it's got an amazing cast: Andrew Garfield, Andrew Scott, Cynthia someone, Tom Hardy, Ramesh Ranganathan, and the music is written by Matt Bellamy, who's the singer of Muse, which is my favourite band, recorded by the London Orchestra. It just sounds amazing. However, I found out yesterday that it's only like a 3-4 hour audiobook, and this is not a 3-4 hour book. Like, the audiobook for just the standard narration is like 10 hours long. So I'm thinking, do I read this first? The other option is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This is another book I bought the series the other day, as you'll see in my vlog that's coming out soon. And I've never read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I've read The Study in Scarlet, and that's it from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But these are stunning and I want to read them. But I think it's only logical that I pick The Master and Margarita for this prompt. I know it's not a book I've bought, but I have gained it into my possession recently, like last week, because if I put another classic on my TBR and still have to read this, then it's getting a bit long. So I'm gonna go with The Master and Margarita. I don't know much about it apart from it's a romance. It says it became an overnight literary phenomenon when it was finally published, signalling artistic freedom for Russians everywhere. Describes how the devil, trailing fire and chaos in his wake, weaves himself out of the shadows and into Moscow one spring afternoon, brimming with magic and incident. It is full of imaginary, historical, terrifying and wonderful characters, from witches, poets and biblical tyrants to the beautiful, courageous Margarita, who will do anything to save the imprisoned writer she loves. It is long, but it makes sense that I have to put it on my TBR somehow. So that's that prompt. Those are all the 6 prompts that I will be reading and the 6 books that I'll be reading. So definitely quite a mix, I'm not gonna lie. Oh god. I'm gonna go put these on my TBR shelf and we'll go through what the books are and what prompts they are, just to recap. So this is where I keep my TBR for the month. Felix Ever After for flowers on the cover. For non-fiction, Come Tell Me How You Live. For horror / spooky vibes, Fever Dream. For young adults, we have Allegiant. For contemporary romance, we have You're the One That I Want. And finally, for recently hauled, The Master and Margarita. So thank you very much for watching. I am so excited by the prospect of this TBR jar. I had so much fun doing this, like, dare I say more fun than my normal TBR game. This might come back more frequently. I just had so much fun, and I'm already thinking of more prompts that I can use in here. So we'll see. I had a lot of fun doing this, and it was just exciting. So thank you very much for watching. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I hope to see you soon with a brand new video. Bye.